Solomon.
Here.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
3, for public information, a copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is available for review. It's above Tom. 4, notice of changes in the agenda by the city clerk. Additions may not be made to this agenda less than 24 hours before the beginning of the meeting unless added under item 5 of this agenda. Do you have any changes?
No changes, Your Honor.
5, citizens with business not scheduled on the agenda as required by state law. No matter may be considered under this item unless council determines that the matter requires emergency action. Do we have any emergency actions? Okay. 6, closed session. Council reserves the right to enter into closed session if deemed necessary if the item is on the agenda as per section 84-1410 of the Nebraska Revised Statutes. 7, consent calendar. Items in the consent calendar are proposed for adoption by one action for all items unless any member of the council requests that an item be considered separately. Do we have any questions or comments on the consent calendar?
No.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Solomon, second by Colwell. Any questions or comments? Okay, call the roll, please.
Colwell.
Yes.
Solomon.
Yes.
McCarrigan.
Yes. 8, public hearings. Council to conduct a public hearing set for this date at 6 p.m. to receive information regarding the Class C liquor license for Broadway Bar and Arcade, 1717 Broadway, Scottsbluff, Nebraska. We'll open the public hearing. Do you want to come forward? Can you state your name and your address, please? Maybe.
Chris Hayward,
Stormy Hayward.
are you wanting our home address or the business address?
Either one is fine.
1717 Broadway.
Okay. All right. And you're here for a liquor license, correct?
That's correct.
Can you give us some information about your business?
We are wanting to open up a bar arcade, which is getting popular in bigger cities. Wanting to add to Scottsbluff kind of entertainment. We felt like there's not a lot of entertainment in the area outside of going to a movie or going to a restaurant or going bowling. We thought it'd be a good idea to add to that. We think it would also help kind of with local tourism a little bit. We will be serving food, bottled liquor and alcohol. We're not interested in serving hard liquor at this time.
Okay. Kevin?
Yeah, could you talk a little bit about your processes as far as checking IDs and what will be available to help employees determine ages and stuff?
As far as checking IDs, we will have strict policy. All staff serving alcohol will be trained going through the Serve Safe program. We will be having monthly meetings also to go through refresher topics, and anyone under 35 years old will be ID'd regardless. So we will be using tablets or phones. We have not decided yet. However, there's an app from WeID we will be using to scan the barcodes on the back of IDs. And also we will be using ID books to help us verify IDs from out of state.
And you're going to have a video system that records the inside?
Yes, we will have an 8-camera security system installed as soon as we are done with the electrical renovation part of our building.
Okay. And Mayor and Council, Chris and Stormy appeared before the liquor license investigatory board. We went over the plan. We do feel pretty comfortable with their plan. They have a room to store the alcohol that they're overstock in. Both Chris and Stormy said that they're really not interested in attracting a bar crowd. It's more of a place to come and play some arcade games and have a drink.
Entertainment, family entertainment.
Yeah. And open Wednesday through Saturday.
Wednesday, Thursday from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. and then Friday and Saturday 11 a.m.
And then you'll have 5 to 6 employees, to include a bar manager
Yes.
when you open in November. So
Okay. And you guys and the manager will be the only ones that has the key to where you store your inventory? Okay. Okay.
So you're currently doing renovations right now?
Yes, we bought the building almost a year ago today, and we have pretty much went through and gutted everything. We'll have new HVAC, new 88 line bathrooms. We'll have a kitchen, commercial kitchen, and electrical being got through. We have gone through all the property building permits and fire marshal permits and such.
Where'd you guys get the idea?
So I got into pinball about 10 years ago, and she got into it about the same time. We've been something we both enjoy, and we found out shortly when we travel, there's a lot of bar arcades in the bigger city. We started making a point to go visit each one that we find, and that's when we thought, this would be really cool to add to Scottsbluff. And we thought that our location that we picked would be it helped with the Midwest, it helped with people's races, powerhouse. It just feels like a perfect location that we can all work together to make a nice entertainment.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments?
No issues?
none as far as law enforcement, the city's concerned, staff are concerned.
Okay.
Okay.
Got some exhibits.
Exhibits, we gotta enter the exhibits.
We have exhibit number 1, the application of Broadway Bar and Arcade at 1717 Broadway in Scottsbluff. Exhibit number 2, the city council checklist. Exhibit number 3, the written statement of police chief. Exhibit number 4, the written statement of city clerk. And exhibit number 5, the written statement of development services.
Okay. We'll close the public hearing. B,
Thank you.
council to discuss and consider action on making a recommendation to the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission regarding the Class C liquor license for Broadway Bar and Arcade and naming Christopher Hayward as the liquor license manager.
Mayor and council, same testimony. Staff is recommending a positive recommendation. There wasn't a forum at the Liquor License Investigatory Board, so we couldn't take official action, but everything sounded very favorable. So,
Okay,
I move to make a positive recommendation to the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission.
do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Colwell, second by Solomon. Any questions or comments? Okay, call the roll, please.
Solomon.
Yes.
McCarrigan.
Yes,
Caldwell.
Yes.
thank you.
Good luck.
All right, resolution and ordinances. Council to remove from table considering a resolution to renew sales and use tax and the amended and renewed economic development plan. Do we have a motion to remove it from the table?
I move to remove.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Colwell, second by Solomon. Any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
McCarrigan.
Yes.
Solomon.
Yes.
Caldwell.
Yes.
B, council to discuss and consider action on a resolution to renew sales and use tax in the amended and renewed economic development plan.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So you have before you the resolution to renew the city's sales and use tax and the amended and renewed economic development plan. As we just talked about, this was tabled at our last city council meeting, just due to some of the concerns that were brought up from the Renew the Two committee that some of the language might be a little bit confusing. So the Renew the Two committee did meet. They had the city's attorney present just to kind of go over all of that language line by line and make sure that it followed state statute in every way that it needed to. And we made sure to add the word renew to both Proposition 1 and 2 to make that very clear that this is not a new tax. It is something that we have had before. And it's just about continuing and renewing both the city sales and use tax and the economic development plan. Any questions about the language and what the Renew the Two committee chatted about at that meeting?
I think it does look better than where we started, so.
Yes, I think adding that word renew to both of them does make it more concise. It's fitting with what their campaign is focusing around, Renew the Two, and it's making it a lot clearer that it is renewing it. And the committee has also, they wanted me to let you know that they have worked with the Scottsbluff Hearing Chamber and TCD more effectively. They're helping them out with the website creation, which is now live. It can be visited at www.renewthe2.org or .com. My apologies, renewthe2.com. So that website is up and live, and we've also gotten some help from both of those organizations for different campaign strategies.
Okay, that's good. All right, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Solomon, second by Colwell. Any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Caldwell.
Yes.
McCarrigan.
Yes.
Solomon.
Yes.
Thank you. C, council to discuss and consider action on a resolution extending the date for written notice of termination in participation in the League Association of Risk Management, LARM, and consider the contribution credits for multi-year commitments and authorize the mayor to sign the resolution.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, this is our LARM renewal. So this will be extending it for 3 years. And if we do that, we get a 5% discount, which amounts to $53,100. I wanted to point out that this is our workman's compensation, insurance, our general liability, our law enforcement liability, our auto liability, our auto physical damage, and our commercial property. So it is covering a lot, and I know these numbers are getting bigger every year. But we did have, in 2019, we had well over $1 million in hail damage. And in 2022, we had hail damage again, and we had the windstorm June of this year. So we've had some fairly significant claims. Wanted to also say that whenever we need anything, LARM is there for us. If we were to email them or call them, they always answer the phone and they respond back almost immediately through email. They do provide safety trainings for the city, for all departments. They have specific trainings for the police department. They have some little grant funds available for safety type products, things like that. So they do a lot. They do. It would be hard to find somebody that does as much for us as they do, and this, in my mind, is truly keeping our money local in Nebraska. So.
And so between the two storms, they've been pretty good to work with between the two.
They've been excellent. They'll be out later to inventory our playground equipment and make sure that it's insured properly. And they've been out and inventoried our buildings. They do a really good job. They're great to work with. They are.
Okay.
So staff is recommending approval and extending for 3 years and getting a 5% discount.
And approximately how much was the increase, Kevin, for the
The
year?
increase, We paid last year with the 5% discount, $870,124.
Okay,
And this year, we will pay with the 5% discount, $1,008,898.
okay. All right. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Colwell, second by Solomon. Any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
McCarrigan.
Yes.
Caldwell.
Yes.
Solomon.
Yes.
D, council to consider action on the third reading of the ordinance adopting the 2023 National Electric Code.
An ordinance dealing with electricity, amending the Scottsbluff Municipal Code at section 4-2-33, adopting the 2023 National Electrical Code, subject to certain stipulated modifications, repealing the former section, providing for an effective date, and publication shall be in pamphlet form.
Okay,
And this is the electric code that the state will be adopting this month. So they do all of our electrical inspections and plan reviews. So it's important that we have the same electric code as they do.
How old's our current code?
I imagine it's a couple years old.
2017.
So it's,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
about 7.
okay.
I move to approve the ordinance.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Colwell, second by Solomon. Any questions, comments? Call the roll, please.
Caldwell.
Yes.
Solomon.
Yes.
McCarrigan.
Yes. E, council to consider action on the first reading of the ordinance amending the residency requirements for fire department employees.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Tom Shingle, Fire Department. Briefly, before we introduce the ordinance, I just wanted to give a quick history. In October of 2022, we established the ordinance, or adopted the ordinance establishing residency for the fire department. At that time, we mirror imaged the police department's residency requirement. A few months later, the police department amended theirs to allow for a greater pool of candidates. That's essentially what we're going to do here. We're mirror imaging again, but looking for that greater pool of candidates. We have several in the area that have already established their homes and have considered applying, but don't necessarily want to move, and they're just outside of that 15 miles. So we figured if we could open it up just a little bit more and make it that 30-mile radius, that would greatly improve our candidate pool. So
Okay.
if there's any questions, I can answer those, but that's a little brief history.
Okay. And Kevin, you guys haven't had any issues after we opened up the police one?
No,
did you?
no. Matter of fact, we were able to hire at least one because of that,
Okay.
which is important for us.
And how many openings do you have, Tom?
We currently have one.
One, okay. All right. Go ahead.
An ordinance of the City of Scottsbluff, Nebraska, amending Chapter 8, Article 1, Section 23 of the Scottsbluff Municipal Code dealing with residency of the fire department by amending the residency requirement for employees and staff, providing for an effective date, and providing for publication in pamphlet form.
Okay. F, council to consider action on the first reading of the ordinance updating utility user fees, including water and sewer fees, solid waste collection, and surcharge for stormwater.
And these are utility fees. As we spoke in the budget workshop, everything went up 3%. CIP was 3.4, so we're a little under that. But it's important that we make these smaller incremental increases to keep up with inflation and keep our infrastructure up, take care of our employees, and make sure that those enterprise funds are in good shape.
Kim?
An ordinance of the City of Scottsbluff amending and changing Chapter 6, Article 6 for solid waste collection fees at Section 6-6-23, 6-6-24, amending and changing sewer user fees, including surcharge for stormwater regulatory requirements at Section 6-6-19, 6-6-20, and 6-6-22, amending and changing the water service fees at Section 6-6-28, all in Chapter 6, Article 6 of the Municipal Code, all relating to a monthly billing cycle, repealing prior provisions of the Municipal Code, providing for an effective date, and providing for publication in pamphlet form.
Okay, any questions?
Just one on the water. We changed the water last year, so this will be in addition to that.
We did change the water. We changed it, we restructured our water to where it was per 1,000 gallons. And we think that in doing that, our customers that don't use much water will see a savings. Right now, it's $1.76 per 1,000 gallons, plus the base rate. So it's very reasonable. The other thing that we did was we went from biannual or bi-monthly to monthly billing as well. So we've worked pretty hard on these rates. And last year we had them studied as well. The NMPP came in and did a study for us to make sure that we were where we needed to be.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. 10, council reports, informational only. This item is intended for council members to update and inform other council members of meetings attended since the last city council meeting. Do we have any updates?
Just a short one on the zoo. So people, haven't been seeing the animals as much, and it's just the heat. So it gets hot, just like us. They go in the shade. So the animals are all there, but people were concerned. But everything's there. It's just Smokey goes and hides in the culvert. Mountain lion crawls wherever he can get underneath for some shade, just get out of the heat. And then they are working on drawing up a more specific proposal on utilizing those funds they still have left and working with.
I meet with Kathy on Thursday. So.
Okay.
And we have a PAD meeting and regional governance this week too. So.
All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Colwell, second by Solomon. Call the roll, please.
Colwell,
Yes.
McCarrigan,
Yes.
Solomon,
Yes.